In the year 2257, Earth had become accustomed to the odd cosmic anomaly or meteor shower. But nothing could have prepared humanity for the day the skies above New York City split open to reveal a gargantuan spaceship descending with majestic slowness. The ship, a seamless blend of technology and artistry, hovered over Central Park, casting a shadow that felt both ominous and awe-inspiring. As world leaders scrambled and defense systems worldwide went on high alert, a message was broadcast on every channel, in every language. I come in peace and seek only the brave. Xylox, the occupant of the ship, emerged not as an invader, but as a competitor. Tall and lithely muscular, his skin shimmered with a metallic sheen under the Earth's sun. His eyes, a deep violet, surveyed his new surroundings with a calm curiosity. His voice, when he spoke, resonated with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. I am Xylox of Varnak, a master of the Varlock martial arts. I challenge Earth's mightiest warriors to test their skills against mine. This is not a battle for conquest, but for honor and learning. The world's reaction was a mix of awe, fear, and excitement. Social media erupted with speculation and fervor. Governments held emergency meetings, and warriors from every corner of the globe felt the stirrings of competition. The United Nations, acting as Earth's collective voice, accepted Xylox's challenge, organizing a tournament to showcase humanity's best. In the weeks that followed, an unprecedented audition took place. From seasoned soldiers to street fighters, from martial arts champions to those who boasted untested skills, thousands came forward. Among them was Captain Eva Martinez, a decorated soldier with a quiet demeanor but an intense gaze. Known in military circles for her tactical brilliance and hand-to-hand combat skills, Eva had always believed in the potential for peaceful interstellar relations. This challenge, in her view, was not just about martial prowess, but a chance to engage with an alien culture on equal footing. As she advanced through the selection rounds, demonstrating both skill and a deep understanding of strategy and adaptation, Eva's reputation grew. Not just a fighter, she was a thinker, and it was this combination that ultimately led to her selection as Earth's representative. The night before the first encounter, Eva stood alone in the arena built to host this interstellar duel, looking up at the stars. The weight of what was to come felt heavy on her shoulders. This was more than a personal test. It was a moment that would be etched in the history of two species. As she traced the constellations, she wondered about Varnak and its people, about Xylox and his reasons for coming here. With resolve, she whispered into the night, "Let's show them what Earth is made of." Thus, the stage was set for a confrontation that would go down in history, not as a battle of enemies, but as a contest of champions, where respect was the ultimate prize. The weeks following Xylox's dramatic arrival were a whirlwind of activity and anticipation. The United Nations, now operating as the central committee for this extraordinary event, had designated a large, secure facility in Geneva, Switzerland, as the training and selection headquarters. Here, candidates from all over the world gathered, each carrying the hope of representing Earth in the ultimate test of martial prowess. Captain Eva Martinez arrived at the facility with a mix of determination and curiosity. The air buzzed with the energy of competitors who practiced a myriad of fighting styles: judo, taekwondo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga, and more obscure arts from various corners of the globe. Cameras rolled continuously, broadcasting every spar, grapple, and strike to an audience that spanned the planet. The event had become more than a mere selection. It was a spectacle, celebrating the diversity and skill of Earth's warriors. In the initial rounds, Eva's approach was methodical. She observed her opponents closely, learning from their strengths and noting their weaknesses. Her own matches were a blend of precision and adaptability, using her opponent's momentum against them, securing victories through technical prowess rather than brute force. Her background in military combatives, which emphasized efficiency and control, set her apart in a field where many relied on sheer strength or speed. Meanwhile, Xylox attended the matches, watching from a secluded VIP area. His presence was a silent challenge, a reminder of what awaited the victor. He showed no emotion, his enigmatic gaze hidden behind the reflective visor of his helmet. Yet his focus on Eva grew as she advanced through the rounds. The selection process was rigorous. After each match, the competitors were rated not just on their victory, but on their adaptability, strategy, and sportsmanship. The panel of judges included former Olympians, military tacticians, and martial arts masters, all scrutinizing every move. As the field narrowed, the physical and mental strain began to show. Injuries were treated on site, and psychologists were on hand to help fighters deal with the pressure. Eva, however, maintained a calm exterior, often found meditating or reviewing footage of her matches and those of her competitors in her downtime. The final selection round was a closed event, with only the competitors, the selection committee, and a few officials present. Eva faced off against a renowned mixed martial arts champion, known for his aggressive style. It was a grueling match, pushing both fighters to their limits. Eva's strategy was to wear him down, avoiding direct confrontation until he began to tire, then using her superior grappling skills to secure a win. The match was a testament to her endurance and tactical acumen. When the announcement came, the silence was palpable. The head of the selection committee stood, clearing his throat before speaking into the microphone. Representing Earth against Master Xylox of Varnak will be Captain Eva Martinez. Applause erupted in the facility, and across the world, millions cheered. Eva stepped forward, her expression one of solemn responsibility, rather than triumph. She understood the gravity of what was to come, not just for her, but for her planet. Xylox, watching the announcement, finally nodded in approval, his interest in Eva now clearly piqued. As preparations began for the first encounter, Eva knew that this was more than a personal challenge. It was a moment to prove that humanity's strength lay not just in physical prowess, but in intelligence, adaptability, and spirit. The day of the first encounter arrived with an electric charge in the air. The global audience was at a fever pitch, with every media outlet from Earth to the outer colonies broadcasting the event live. The arena, specially constructed for this occasion, sat at the heart of Geneva, transformed overnight into a coliseum of modern age, blending Earth's architectural heritage with alien technology provided by Xylox. As dawn broke, the arena was already packed with spectators, and millions more watched from screens around the world. The stage was set for a monumental clash, not just of fighters, but of civilizations. Captain Eva Martinez and Xylox were about to meet, not just in combat, but in a spectacle that would test the limits of diplomacy and cultural exchange. Eva entered the arena first, her uniform modified for mobility, adorned with the insignias of her military honors and the Earth emblem, representing her planet and its united front. Her stride was confident, her eyes focused. She received a roaring cheer, a wave of support that seemed to lift her as she approached the center of the arena. Moments later, Xylox made his entrance. His approach was less about spectacle and more about intimidating presence. His armor, a sleek, biomechanical suit that hinted at advanced Varnakian technology, gleamed under the artificial lights. His entrance was met with a mix of awe and silence, the audience captivated by his alien grace and formidable aura. The initial handshake was the first real moment of contact between human and Varnakian, a symbolic gesture watched by billions. Xylox's grip was firm, his violet eyes assessing Eva as a worthy opponent. Eva met his gaze without faltering, her own resolve clear. As the match began, the difference in their styles was immediately apparent. Xylox utilized a fighting technique that seemed to blend martial arts with a kind of rhythmic gymnastics, his movements fluid yet strikingly powerful. Eva, grounded in her military combatives, responded with a more straightforward, powerful style, emphasizing defense and calculated strikes. The first few exchanges were tentative, each trying to gauge the other's capabilities. Xylox's attacks were swift, almost too fast for the human eye, but Eva's training allowed her to anticipate and block, her reactions honed by countless simulations. However, Xylox's alien physiology gave him an edge in speed and flexibility, and he managed to land a few light blows that earned him early points. As the rounds progressed, Eva began to adapt. She started reading Xylox's movements, predicting his attacks with better accuracy. Her counters became more aggressive, aiming not just to defend, but to take control of the fight. The crowd rallied behind her, their cheers growing as she made Zylox retreat for the first time. Despite her progress, the match ended with Zylox as the clear victor. His style was not only effective but mesmerizing, a dance of deadly precision that earned him the applause of the crowd, now respectful of his martial prowess. In the aftermath, as the scores were announced, Zylox winning by a margin, there was no gloating from the Varnakian. Instead, he offered Eva a nod of respect, acknowledging her skill and the challenge she presented. Eva, though not victorious, had held her own far better than many had anticipated. She returned to her corner, her coaches and teammates surrounding her, already discussing adjustments for the next encounter. This match had been a learning experience, a chance to analyze Zylox's techniques firsthand. The event concluded with both fighters facing the audience, their arms raised together. It was a powerful image, one of mutual respect despite the competitive nature of their meeting. The world had expected a display of superiority from Zylox, but found instead a compelling duel that promised more excitement to come. As the spectators began to leave, the buzz was not about the defeat, but about the potential. Eva had lost the battle, but had begun to unravel the mystery of Zylox's style, setting the stage for a riveting rematch that would be eagerly anticipated around the globe. In the days following the first encounter, Captain Eva Martinez found herself at the center of a whirlwind of analysis and planning. The initial match had been broadcast globally, and now, replayed countless times, it served as a crucial learning tool, not just for Eva, but for her entire support team. Martial arts experts, military strategists, and even physicists were brought in to dissect Zylox's movements and tactics. Eva spent her days in intense training sessions, interspersed with video reviews and strategy meetings. Her team had compiled every piece of footage available, creating simulations and scenarios that mimicked Zylox's fighting style. The focus was on understanding the alien's unique blend of speed and fluidity, which seemed to defy some of the basic principles of human martial arts. The world's interest in Eva's progress was immense. She became a symbol of Earth's resilience and ingenuity, her face appearing on news feeds and broadcasts, her every public appearance scrutinized and cheered. Despite the pressure, Eva remained grounded, her focus never wavering from the task at hand. She understood the stakes were higher than personal victory. This was about proving humanity's capacity to meet and match alien prowess. To enhance her training, Eva began working with a new piece of technology, a suit designed to increase her reaction speed and simulate higher gravity, mimicking Zylox's likely training conditions on his home planet. This suit allowed her to adapt to faster movements and develop strategies to counteract the Varnakian's agility. She also delved deeper into the psychological aspects of her training, working with a cognitive behavioral therapist to sharpen her mental resilience. The sessions were designed to enhance her focus under pressure, allowing her to maintain clarity and decision-making speed during intense physical exertion. Throughout her training, Eva was also taught to integrate more of her environment into her fighting style. Her coaches set up various terrains within the training arena, mimicking the unpredictable conditions of the actual fighting platform. She practiced on uneven surfaces, within confined spaces, and around obstacles that required rapid adaptation, all to better prepare her for any unforeseen challenges that might arise in the rematch. As part of her broader preparation, Eva also engaged with the public, sharing her training progress and her thoughts on the upcoming rematch. During a widely viewed interview, she said, "This isn't just about fighting, it's about understanding. Each strike, each move in that arena is a form of communication. Zylox is teaching us about his world, just as I hope to teach him about ours." The weeks of preparation culminated in a public demonstration of Eva's enhanced capabilities. The event, attended by thousands and viewed by millions, showcased not only her improved physical skills, but also her strategic adaptability. She moved with a precision and speed that had noticeably improved since her first match with Zylox, her actions in the demonstration mirroring the alien's fluidity, while maintaining her inherent human strength and resilience. As the day of the rematch approached, the atmosphere among Eva's team was one of cautious optimism. They had worked exhaustively to prepare, and while the challenge ahead was daunting, there was a shared sense of confidence. Eva, standing amidst her team, felt a deep connection to those around her, their support a tangible force that bolstered her spirit. With the world watching, and the lessons of her rigorous training embedded in every move she planned, Eva was ready to step back into the arena. This time, she was not just a fighter, but a culmination of Earth's hope and collective effort, poised to bridge the gap between human determination and alien mastery. The day of the rematch was charged with an electric anticipation. As the sun set over Geneva, casting long shadows over the specially constructed arena, the air was thick with the tension of imminent confrontation. Fans from across the globe had converged, filling the stands to capacity, their energy a palpable force echoing through the vast structure. Captain Eva Martinez entered the arena with a calm demeanor, her presence commanding yet serene. She wore her enhanced suit, its sleek design now as familiar to her as her own skin. The crowd roared their approval and support, a sea of flags and banners waving energetically. Eva acknowledged them with a nod, her focus laser-sharp on the challenge ahead. Xylox made his entrance, his alien grace as mesmerizing as ever. His armor seemed to have undergone enhancements as well, reflecting a deep, iridescent purple that shimmered under the arena lights. The crowd offered a mixed reception, awestruck by his presence yet fiercely loyal to their human representative. As the competitors faced off, the atmosphere shifted from festive to intense. The initial bows were exchanged, a mutual respect evident in the deliberate movements of both fighters. Then the signal was given, and the rematch commenced. From the onset, it was clear that Eva had evolved her style significantly. She moved with a fluidity that mirrored Xylox's, her reactions swift and precise. The enhancements to her suit allowed her to keep pace with Xylox's speed, and her training had sharpened her ability to predict and counter his movements. Xylox, surprised by Eva's improved capabilities, increased his own tempo. His attacks became more intricate, weaving complex patterns that were designed to confuse and outmaneuver. However, Eva's preparation paid off. She managed to not only anticipate but also use his momentum against him, turning his own strikes into opportunities for her to attack. The rounds progressed with neither side gaining a clear advantage, each exchange a testament to their skill and preparation. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, the tension building with every minute that passed. The scores were tight, reflecting the intense parity between the two competitors. As they entered the final round, Eva employed a tactic she had been holding in reserve. She began to use the environment to her advantage, leading Xylox into a corner of the arena where she had practiced extensively. Here, the ground was subtly uneven, a detail she was now intimately familiar with. Xylox, confident in his agility, followed, but the terrain slightly hampered his movements, a split-second delay that Eva needed. She launched a series of quick strikes, her actions a blur, each one calculated and precise. For the first time, Xylox found himself on the defensive, unable to fully counter the rapid succession of moves. As the final buzzer sounded, Eva stepped back, her breathing heavy but controlled. Xylox, visibly impressed and slightly breathless himself, nodded in acknowledgement of her prowess. The arena erupted in cheers as the scores were announced. Eva had won the rematch by a narrow margin, her victory a shock to many and a testament to her determination and strategic planning. The respect between the two fighters was palpable as they shook hands at the match's conclusion. Xylox's gesture of genuine sportsmanship, raising Eva's hand in victory, was a powerful moment, symbolizing the bridging of worlds through mutual respect and shared warrior spirit. Eva, overwhelmed by the moment, took in the cheering crowd, her heart swelling with pride, not just for her victory, but for proving that human ingenuity and spirit could meet any challenge, even one from the stars. This rematch was more than just a fight. It was a dialogue, an exchange that spoke of potential and promise for future interactions between Earth and Varnak. The victory in Geneva had turned Captain Eva Martinez into an international hero, her name synonymous with human resilience and tactical brilliance. The image of Xylox raising her hand in acknowledgement of her victory was broadcast repeatedly, becoming a symbol of Earth's potential and the newfound respect between two vastly different civilizations. Yet the story was far from over. A few days after the rematch, during a globally televised address, Zylox extended an unexpected invitation. His voice, calm and resolute, echoed across millions of screens around the world. Captain Martinez has shown exceptional skill and courage, qualities that are greatly respected among my people. I now invite her to Varnak to engage in a final match under our sun and on our soil. This will not only be a test of physical prowess, but of adaptability to new environments. Let us take this competition to the next level. The invitation sent waves of excitement and apprehension across Earth. The idea of their champion traveling to an alien planet for a high-stakes match was thrilling, yet fraught with uncertainty. Governments and space agencies scrambled to arrange logistics, while scientists and physicians cautioned about the unknowns of extraterrestrial travel and exposure to a different planetary environment. Eva accepted the challenge with the same stoic determination that had characterized her approach from the beginning. Preparations for her journey to Varnak were extensive. Specialized training sessions were conducted to simulate expected conditions on the alien planet, ranging from higher gravity levels to adjustments in atmospheric pressure and composition. Her team developed a new version of her suit, equipped with life support systems and enhancements designed to optimize her performance under Varnakian conditions. Eva also spent hours studying Varnakian culture and customs with experts who were versed in interstellar anthropology. She understood that this match was as much about diplomatic finesse as it was about martial prowess. The journey to Varnak was a spectacle of its own. Accompanied by a select team of coaches, scientists, and diplomats, Eva embarked on the interstellar voyage aboard one of Earth's finest spacecraft. The journey covered live by media outlets. The trip, which lasted several weeks, was a testament to human technological advancement and a deepening curiosity about the universe. Upon arrival, Eva was greeted with a mix of reverence and curiosity by the Varnakian public. The planet was breathtaking, with vast landscapes dominated by towering crystal formations and luminescent flora. The gravity was indeed heavier, and the air had a sharp, metallic scent, but her suit compensated well, allowing her time to acclimate. Zylox took on the role of host and mentor, showing Eva the training facilities and the arena where the final match would take place. The arena was unlike anything on Earth, designed not as a simple flat surface, but as a complex environment with varying elevations and obstacles, reflecting the Varnakian preference for dynamic combat scenarios. Training on Varnak was challenging. The gravity tested her endurance, and the terrain required a significant recalibration of her tactical approach. However, Eva's adaptability shone through as she quickly learned to turn these new conditions to her advantage, much to the admiration of her Varnakian hosts. As the day of the final match approached, Eva felt a deep connection to the task at hand. She was not just fighting for herself or even for Earth. She was a pioneer, part of a larger dialogue between species. Her journey had transcended the bounds of competition, evolving into a profound exploration of what it means to connect, understand, and respect across the stars. As the final match approached on Varnak, Captain Eva Martinez immersed herself completely in the new and alien environment, training intensively to adapt her combat skills to the unique challenges posed by the planet's heavier gravity and multifaceted terrain. The training grounds, a vast expanse bordered by jagged crystal cliffs, became her second home, each session pushing her to the limits of her physical and mental endurance. Varnak's gravity, significantly higher than Earth's, added a layer of difficulty to her movements. Every jump required more effort, every step needed more precision. Her suit, although technologically advanced, could only compensate so much for the gravitational pull that made her limbs feel like lead. Eva found that the key was not just in physical strength, but in leveraging the momentum of her movements, a tactic that she refined with each passing day. The locals, initially distant and reserved, gradually warmed up to Eva as she persevered in her training. Zylox, who had been a formidable opponent back on Earth, now took on a more collaborative role. He introduced her to various Varnakian combat techniques, which were deeply influenced by the planet's environment. These techniques emphasized using the terrain to one's advantage, something that was evident in the design of the final match arena. This arena was a marvel of Varnakian engineering, featuring variable elevations and embedded with obstacles that could be used both defensively and offensively. Streams of a quicksilver-like liquid flowed through parts of the arena, creating both hazards and opportunities for strategic positioning. Eva spent hours every day familiarizing herself with every inch of this complex environment, each session watched closely by Xylox and other Varnakian martial artists. Beyond physical preparation, Eva engaged with the local culture, attending cultural events and participating in Varnakian traditions. This cultural exchange deepened her understanding of her hosts and enriched her experience, turning her stay on Varnak into more than just a preparation for a fight. It was a profound intercultural dialogue. She learned about the Varnakian philosophy of combat, which was not only about physical mastery, but also about spiritual growth and respect for one's opponent. Her growing understanding and respect for Varnakian culture were reciprocated by the public. Eva's commitment to embracing their ways endeared her to many Varnakians, who began to see her not just as a foreign warrior, but as an ambassador of Earth's potential and goodwill. Her openness and effort in learning about their world bridged a gap that no diplomatic mission could have achieved so profoundly. The night before the final match, Eva stood alone in the arena, looking up at Varnak's 3 moons. The landscape was bathed in a surreal glow that made the crystal formations around her sparkle with an ethereal light. It was a moment of reflection on how far she had come, not just in distance, but in her understanding of what it meant to truly engage with something unknown and make it a part of her narrative. As she prepared mentally for the upcoming challenge, she felt a convergence of every lesson learned, every friendship forged, and every boundary pushed. Tomorrow she would not just fight in another match. She would participate in a historic event that symbolized the possibilities of peace and understanding between species. It was a heavy burden, but as she left the arena under the light of alien stars, Eva felt ready to meet it head-on, with all the strength and wisdom she had gained from her incredible journey. On the day of the final battle, the atmosphere on Varnak was charged with an electric mix of anticipation and solemnity. Spectators from various regions of Varnak, as well as a global audience from Earth watching via live feed, filled the stands around the intricately designed arena. The event had transcended its origins as a mere martial contest. It had become a historic testament to interstellar diplomacy and cultural exchange. Captain Eva Martinez stepped into the arena with a composed yet resolute expression. Her suit, adapted to Varnak's conditions, glinted under the alien sun, its enhancements barely visible but crucial. She had not only adapted to Varnak's gravity, but had learned to use it to her advantage, moving with a deliberate power that was both graceful and effective. Xylox awaited her at the center of the arena. His stance was respectful, his eyes conveying a deep understanding of the significance of the moment. As they approached each other, the crowd hushed, the silence a stark contrast to the roaring winds that swept over the open structure. The match began with the traditional Varnakian salute, a gesture Eva had learned during her time on the planet. It was a sign of respect, but also a declaration of readiness. As the salute ended, the combatants circled each other, each aware of the enhanced stakes of this final confrontation. The early exchanges were cautious, with both fighters testing their limits and probing for openings. Eva utilized her newly acquired knowledge of Varnakian techniques, blending them with her Earth-based training. Her movements were precise, each step and strike calculated to take full advantage of the arena's varied terrain. Xylox responded with a display of agility and strength that reflected his deep connection to his home environment. His attacks were fluid, making use of the arena's obstacles not only as cover, but as integral components of his offensive strategy. As the match progressed, Eva found an opportunity to exploit a momentary lapse in Xylox's defense, a slight overextension following a powerful strike. Swiftly, she maneuvered him towards one of the streams of quicksilver-like liquid, using her knowledge of the terrain to her advantage. With a combination of a feint and a swift takedown, she managed to momentarily unbalance Xylox, a move that drew gasps from the audience. Xylox recovered quickly, but the move had shifted the momentum. Eva pressed her advantage, her strikes becoming more confident. Yet her respect for Xylox never waned. Each move was executed with honor, reflecting the spirit of the competition. As the final buzzer sounded, both fighters were standing, breathing heavily, the respect between them palpable as they awaited the judge's decision. The score was close, but Eva had won by the narrowest of margins. This time the victory felt different. There was no triumph in Eva's expression, only a deep mutual respect as she and Xylox bowed to each other and then to the crowd. Xylox lifted Eva's hand, echoing the gesture from their first match on Earth. This time, however, the gesture was one of unequivocal acknowledgement and respect, accepted with gracious humility by Eva. The crowd, whether Varnakian or watching from afar on Earth, erupted in cheers, not just for the victor, but for the incredible display of skill, honor, and sportsmanship. Post-match at the ceremonial dinner, Xylox and Eva shared their experiences and lessons learned, their speeches broadcasted to both their worlds. Xylox spoke of new respect for human resilience and creativity, while Eva talked about the profound impact of understanding and embracing alien cultures. The event concluded with a declaration of a new interstellar partnership, inspired by the competition and founded on the principles of mutual respect and shared knowledge. Eva returned to Earth not just as a champion, but as a pioneer of a new era of peaceful exploration and cultural exchange. Her journey, a beacon for future interactions across the stars.